I said you better watch what you're doing, 'cause I ain't gonna stop when I'm moving. I'm headed to the top, I'ma do it. I'm headed to the top, I'ma prove it. And I could go all night, I'm sick of being nothing. All right, I'm gonna be something. I'll fight with every breath, trust me. I'ma be the one at the top, you can't touch me. I would rather die than be someone who's nothing. I'm the type of dude who will not remain nameless. I'm the type of dude who is headed for great.
Hey guys, Brian with BS Bassin, and today we're going to do something that a couple guys have asked me to do already. It's winter time, I'm not out on the water, so I got time to do this for you guys. And what we're going to do is a walkthrough on my Nitro Z19 Z Pro package. Stay tuned. Front deck on the Z19 is 34 square foot surface area, and it has 3 storage lockers. It's got the center one and then a port and starboard side rod locker. The front of my Z19, you'll notice I have a Lowrance HDS 7. It is a Gen 3, it's not the newer version. The other thing I have is I have a Hydrowave H2. And lastly, I've got the Minn Kota Fortrex. It's an 80-pound thrust, 24-volt system. You can see here I have my speaker for my Hydrowave, and then I also have a HDS down imaging sonar for the front graph. Okay, so the back deck on the boat on this Nitro Z19, it has a total of 5 storage spots. 2 are actually live well, they're not storage. And then you got starboard and port side storage for tackle boxes. They do come with a tub inside of them, and that allows you to put either loose stuff in there, or you could put the Plano boxes in. And then in the back you do have your storage for your batteries. This boat has an onboard 3-bank battery charger here. This boat comes with a NOCO Genius 3-bank battery charger. You can see the one battery's dead right now. I had some lights on the boat a little bit before this video. It'll charge that right up. One of the standard features on the Z19 Z Pro package is a tandem axle trailer with single axle brakes. One more feature that the Z Pro comes with, and I'm not sure if you could see it due to lighting, but this boat comes standard with a keel guard. Now looking at the back of the boat, this boat came with one single power pole on it. The second one was added after purchase, and it comes standard with a Mercury Pro XS 200 horsepower Optimax. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to go through is the center box, or the coffin, whatever you want to call it. In this box, what I keep is mostly my soft plastics that are organized a little different. Right now I got some walleye baits in here. These are all flicker shads. End of the season, we're going up to Wisconsin, doing some walleye sticking out on the Fox River. So what I have, my first box here is just going to be like an accessory box or like a miscellaneous box. I got some fluorocarbon that I use to tie on for leaders for drop shotting or anything else that I'm going to run a non-floating leader on, as well as I have monofilament in here as well, my headlight, and some miscellaneous baits. At the end of the day, you're done fishing, you got a few things sitting around your boat. Rather than letting them fly out the back of your boat when you're going down the highway, I just throw them in this box. It's a miscellaneous box, and I take care of it at the end of the day. Got my scale, got a bunch of pliers in here, bunch of soft plastics organized in these here. I've got my tubes, got craws, got my first aid kit. Haven't had to use it yet. Typically it's in my cooler. I brought my boat in for service real quick, so it's not in the cooler right now. I got a couple spare reels in here. I've got some lake maps for some of the lakes I went to. This is the Willow Flowage. I got some sunglasses. I keep sunscreen in here. Definitely something you need on the water. For safety, we've got our flares. Make sure you keep those in a bag. Make sure they don't get wet. I've got my air horn on here. So we got that. Mostly all the safety stuff is in here. Flares, I also got the pistol flare gun in here. Pliers, bug repellent. And like I said, it's the end of the season. This is a little bit unorganized, but that's mostly what I keep in here. The flicker shad stuff, that's usually on the side of the boat. I don't keep it in the boat most of the time. Alright, the next locker we got, so I call it my money box or my rod locker. It's the port side locker on my boat. So in here I keep all my rods. Probably got 15, 16 rods in there right now. I don't keep all of them in here, but I do keep a lot of them. There's some miscellaneous stuff in here. You know, I did do some perch fishing at the end of the year, so I got some rods set up for perch fishing. My main go-to rods I keep right up on top. The rods that I'm not going to use as much, I keep them on the bottom. The tubes in the front of the Nitro Z19, they're pretty nice. Some people really don't like them. I like them. Most of my rods will have a rod sock on them, but it's the end of the season, getting off the water, you know, kind of a depressing time of the year. I didn't put everything away. Felt like I've got a lot of time to organize over winter. Still haven't done it. So if you also look here, you'll be able to see that's where the tubes are for the rods. And then on this back end here, we also have the organization where the butts of the rods go into tubes as well. So the next locker is going to be my starboard side rod locker. And this rod locker, I really don't use it for too much rod storage. I've got 3 rods in here for heavier duty applications, which would be like my musky rods. I got 2 musky rods and then a real heavy action bass rod that I use for some musky baits or pike baits as well. In here, I've got 2 of my life jackets. These are the inflatable ones. I do like those better than the ones I have in my storage right there. They take up less room. It really allows you to put more stuff in your boat, less weight, less room. So I keep my rain gear in here. Again, end of the season, I'm using Cabela's guide wear. I really like this. I mean, it could be pouring rain and I'm still dry. It keeps you on the water longer. Most of the time, my rain gear is in a vacuum bag. This helps you take up a lot less room, and it's easy to store it in it. Keeps it dry. So my spare rain gear, if I'm fishing with somebody and they don't have rain gear, or if I just need one of my light jackets for rain because it's just drizzling and it's going to pass, I do have some stuff in here. I got an extra pair of pants, and then I got two light rain gear, rain jackets in there. My other life vest here. I keep my seat in here, my butt seat. I don't know if you guys can see that too well or not, but I keep my butt seat in here. Stay legal on the water. I keep my throwable flotation device. I have an oar in here. I've got a couple short lines of rope in case I have to dock my boat somewhere. I got short lines. I don't need, 100 feet of rope sitting around everywhere. I keep a secondary prop for my trolling motor in here. And then in case I'm walleye fishing or something, I do have a longer ruler in here. It goes up to 30 inches. That'll make sure I stay legal if I'm fishing for another species of fish. In this locker as well, one thing you might not be able to see, but I've got my my fire extinguisher in here. And then also the nitros come with the lights in here. I don't know if you've seen that kick on or not, but I got a light in here. And I've got my NEP2 expansion port mounted on the inside of the rod locker as well, which allows all my fish finders to be networked together and use the same mapping card. So that is everything I have in here. I do keep an extra bag in my boat at all times in case I got something that I got to throw away. I just put all my garbage in that, tie it up when I get to the dock, throw it in the garbage. You don't want to leave anything behind. All right, so the next section of the boat that you're looking at now would be the back deck of the boat. On the back deck of the boat, you have 2 live wells here. Mine has a little bit of sand left in the bottom on this side. Last place I fished was a real sandy body of water. So you got 2 live wells. This side's nice and clean. Keep those open in the winter, make sure that all the water drains out. Nitro does come with a small tournament ruler here. Also has some sand on it. This is a 15-inch ruler. So most of the bodies of water, if you're looking for keeper bass, that'll definitely be able to measure them for you. One nice option, or not option, but one of the nice standard features on this boat is the net behind the passenger seat in the boat. There's like a nice little dish out in the back that the top of your net sticks in, and it's got 2 Velcro straps to keep your net from flying out of the boat. It makes it nice, easy access. So that's one of the features I really liked about this boat. All right, now we make our way over to the starboard side, storage box in the back. I keep my Plano boxes in here. This side here is more for soft stuff, more finesse style fishing. I've got jig heads, I've got some swim baits, I've got all of my hooks, my weights, my frogs, and my jigs on this side. I got some grubs, which are more or less for walleye fishing, but also at the same time I use them as a trailer sometimes. So all like my terminal tackles in here, as well as some of the stuff that I'm going to use for my worms that are going to be in my front box, and the other soft plastics that I use there. All right, here we go. Port side storage is for my hard baits. On this side, I got some miscellaneous stuff in here, but I've got my jerk baits. I've got all my hard baits in here. They're all labeled, you know, so I could see in there and I could see exactly what they are. If you look a little, let me get that focus there. So I got my jerk baits in here. I got 2 boxes of those. My shallow crankbaits are all labeled, so when I run to the back of my boat, I can see exactly what I got in there and pull the box out that I need. A bunch of top water stuff here. I keep everything in there so I could see when I pop this door open, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm going to grab the right box I'm going to tie on, and I'm going to get back to fishing. Last box on the back deck is the battery box. I've got 1 starting battery, 2 deep cycle batteries for trolling motor and stuff like that, 24-volt system on this boat. 2 things that you need to keep in your boat that are in the back here. I got a small tool set, just in case you need something on the water. Anything happens, you could take a little bit of your boat apart and fix it. So definitely have one of those in your boat. The other thing I keep in my boat, which I transfer to my truck every time I'm fishing, is this here. This is a small jumper box. You guys get these off Amazon, they're pretty cheap. This one here I took out on the water with a friend of mine. He's got a 150 horse 6-cylinder, and that was able to start his boat 10 times while we were on the water. That kept us on the water catching fish for a long time. The other thing that's in this tray back here is I've got two power pole pumps back here. One's currently disconnected. That's why my poles have zip ties on them right now. That's what it's in for service. One of the lines popped off. They're just getting a new fitting. The other thing you'll notice in the back storage compartment is you have a oil reservoir back here. Right here on the back deck you have your remote oil fill location. Once you come to the passenger compartment, you can see I have 2 seats. I do have the 3rd seat that goes in the middle. It's removable, fairly easy. And when we come to the driver's seat, I do have a hot foot on here. I also have 2 HDS7 Gen 3s located on the dash. One I use for mapping, the other one I use mostly for my depth while I'm running across the lake. And this boat does come with a power on off. This is kind of nice for all your 12-volt accessories there. Ignition switch. I have the trim switch on my console. I do not have a jack plate, so this side of the steering wheel is also free. Here we have all our buttons for the live wells and the bilge pump. Also, this boat has a horn on it. So this dash panel can be a little confusing at times. When you turn something on, which I'll actually power everything up here. So when you turn the recirculation pump on, it turns blue. That's low. You hit it again. Now it's blue flashing. That's medium. You're going to hit it one more time, and it's going to go to high, which will be red. So now this is high recirculation. You press it one more time, and it should turn off. And the aerators work the same exact way, so this could be confusing. If you click it too fast, you notice it doesn't really show a change right away. Well guys, that concludes another episode of BS Bassin. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're looking at buying one of these boats, I hope that helped you with a little bit of the layout on the boat and what you can possibly do with the space that you have.
That will always be ageless. I'm the type of dude that will always feel shameless. I'm the type of dude that they say is fucking